Hello and welcome to my David's Kitchen, and I will be doing something special today for you. I managed to put together a concoction of food you can buy at the dollar store, well, practically. And we're going to take our time here and get things rolling. It's going to be a pasta, and the pasta I have is non-GMO, right there. And I get this tricolor Routini. I really like this stuff. It's perfect in 7 to 8 minutes. So we're going to get the water boiling for this. Got smoked oysters. I'm going to use 2 packs of smoked oysters that I got at the dollar store. Sarah actually bought these today for me. They're 130 calories a piece. And sodium combined is about 440 milligrams. I also have a container of artichoke bottoms. If you ever see these things, buy them. I got this can for 99 cents. And I bought it about 8 years ago. So they're still good though. Ironically, artichoke bottoms are really full of nutrition. They're the most important part of the artichoke. And they're great for cutting up and putting in stir fries and cooking rather quickly because they're already pre-cooked. Today I'm going to be using some old vegetables. I've got the organic celery here that I had last week. I want to finish that off. It's perfect. I kept it, as long as you keep water in your bag of celery, you're going to be okay. It won't get really wiggly, although this is pretty wiggly. But as soon as you put water in it, it firms right up. We got a yellow onion today. It's not organic sourced, but it is non-GMO. That's good. All right. I am also going to use some broccoli in this dish. You can get frozen broccoli at the dollar store. They sell it in baggies. For $1, you can get a 12-ounce container of broccoli. So between the box of pasta, which is going to be a half of a box, a $1 box of pasta, 50 cents for the pasta, half of that tricolor Routini. And then the celery is nominal, 10, 15 cents. 20 cents maybe. Onion, 20 cents maybe. I'm going to say for the vegetables, I'm rounding out at about 50 cents, but you'd have to add a dollar if you got broccoli. You could buy something like peas or canned anything, canned vegetables. Del Monte makes a line of canned vegetables that are really interesting. I'll show you one I just bought. They make non-GMO now. Look at that, non-GMO. And this would be interesting in the meal. French style green beans with onions, red peppers, and garlic. But I'm not going to put that in the meal. I paid $1.29 for that can. You can get them for 88 cents at Walmart. It's really a very good product, Del Monte, non-GMO. I'm really this is made with sea salt, so something like that would replace the artichokes. This one I just bought at Walmart. Expires in 2020, August 3rd. The artichoke, that's going to be 2014, April 2014. So I was a little off. It's 4 years old, but probably 6 years old total. Hey, I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of water in here for my filtered water. Thanks, yeah. This is going to be a half a box of Routini, so I don't have to use too much water. No more than a third of one of these containers is probably good. Here we go. I may be cooking a little floret in there too. Broccoli floret. I did that last week. Okay, I'm going to take that up to level 6 and get rolling. Yeah, so this is the idea behind these meals, and I've been kind of going along. If you're watching these meals in a linear order, I've been teaching a kind of a new way of cooking, flex cooking. Now, I've already introduced the fusion cooking, the steam fry cooking. Now I'm working on the flex cooking, where you actually adjust to your cupboard. And like I said, you can pick up a can of this and some Routini and some oysters. Believe it or not, as long as you've got an onion, you're going to have a really nice tasting meal. The onion is essential. It's almost the base for every meal that I make. So we're going to start cutting that onion up. And somebody gave me some criticism about my knife skills. And I just want everybody to know that I am perhaps one of the most adept people at a knife that you'll ever meet. So I was quite shocked that they would say that. And I think they're just trying to get under my skin. Celery does not taste like shit. Have you ever eaten shit? I haven't, but I can tell you it doesn't taste like shit. Okay? I will use garlic, yes. I have some fresh garlic I grew in my garden. Yeah, I have a bowl here of garlic. I pulled these little bulbs out of my garden. Let me pick out a big one. Yeah, you know, when you have hard pan soil, you don't grow very much. So the garlic is just kind of small, but very tasty. All right, so let me show you how to cut up an onion as quick as possible. Now, I was bragging last night that I can cut an onion in 3 seconds. Well, that's a little bit much, don't you think? One, you have to cut it in half. And then you go like this, and keep your hands separate from the knife, and make sure you have a good knife with a good sharp edge. That's not exactly a sharp edge. Try not to cut your fingers off. That's one cut in 3 seconds. It's not bad. Let's try it again. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007, 1008, 1009. That's a 10-second cut. I'm way off. See, that knife is not sharp enough. That's the real problem here. Yeah, that's got to be sharper. If I'm going to do a 3-second onion cut, I've got to. Yeah, the celery hater he's not familiar with a lot of the stem celery research that's been going on. Yeah. This is the stem of the celery. It has a lot of, you've been researching stem celery? It has a lot of nutrition. They're thinking they can clone things with stem celery. Yeah, so screw you celery haters. We're working on a lot of stem celery research, our government is. So, yeah, you learn something new every day, don't you? Hey, I'm going to take 4 cloves of garlic out of this little garlic bulb. You can plant celery? Oh, really? You can? Okay, that's on. Well, I would not expect this to grow if I planted it. But I'd be surprised. You might be right. Bless you. Thank you for coming in. Thank you, the mob. Welcome. Hey, I'm not hateful of gay people, okay? Don't get me wrong. I really think that gay people should pursue their gayness if they want to be gay. I really do. I can't tell you how many people I've seen on my island where it's gay central because it's a Navy town that are so happy. I mean, those guys, when they drive around on their bikes and, you know, think they're really, really macho, revving their engines, they're happy. I revel in that. I think that's great. I'm just not gay myself. So when a gay person thinks that a hetero person is a fantasy for them, it creates a problem. It's called sexual harassment. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this is because some of you might get a little bit overcharged with sexuality. Oysters are an aphrodisiac. Now, I'm not encouraging you to get overly sexual in this show, but I'm sure that thought has entered your mind. Now, if you want to focus on the oyster artichoke pasta, you get to the sex part later after it's digesting. So, apparently oysters have this aphrodisiac effect on people. Well, I don't know about that, but because I'm 0% on that spectrum. Yeah, 0. That makes me on the far end. Well, I'm sure it might make them a little too overactive. And they might find themselves with too many people and involved in too many weird things, and maybe they'll get AIDS or something. You know, that would be bad. You know, I knew the first woman in the world to get AIDS. I knew her. Yeah, I'm going to throw a little, set that garlic down. I'm going to throw a little bit of my Himalayan sea salt in my hot water back there. I got that hot water cooking on the grill. Some of you are trying to sneak a picture of my feet because you've got a foot fetish. I can see that. Okay, I'm going to take a little pinch of this Himalayan salt. Wonderful stuff, really good stuff. Throw that in the water. Nice. That water is almost coming to a boil. It's just started, it's practically there. 80,000 people watching, touching themselves right now. Wow, that's kind of weird. All right. Hands are exposed here. One of the things you don't want to do is touch the rag. I just made a big mistake by touching the rag. Whenever you cook, you want to cook with a paper towel as your cleaning agent, a fresh paper towel. Don't touch the rag because you're going to be putting the rag germs in your food. You like hands, really, Anna? I have great hands, yeah. Okay, so you like celery? I can see that, Celery Chef. We got 1 million views. Phil, thank you for coming in. You're awesome. All right, this is going to be drained, this artichoke can. So I'm going to pop the lid off. This is a really advanced technology for 2014. This can was made in 2012 because they put a time on it, 2014. Usually they put 2-year extensions. You don't have to follow the extension. I'm trying to explain that to people. Look at that. Look at how clean those look. They look like they're brand new. So I'm going to drain that can out. And this is just a way to ensure that any kind of weirdness from an old can of food is not going to be bothering you. And then rinse it out. Put some more fresh water in. Get rid of these plastic bags. They're ruining my aesthetics. But save the plastic bag, for instance. I'm going to use that again for an onion. So what I'll do is I'll put it in the refrigerator. I save and reuse my plastic bags that I can. Okay. All right. Now we're going to start a grill in the back here on a level 3 on the rear. We're getting to a boiling point there. Okay, I'm going to drain that water out, kind of shake it around. And these things are really nice. See them? And we're going to dice those up in 1/4-inch chunks for our dinner. But that's a lot of artichoke, and you know what artichoke is good for? Absolutely nothing. Just kidding. It is good for cleaning your liver. So some of you alcoholics would really like to eat some artichoke. Yeah. Carrots are good for liver. Peaches are good for liver. Help keep that liver clean. I went with a tricolor, yeah. It's politically correct. Yeah. I wasn't going to just make white pasta or black pasta or anything. Yeah, canned foods can get a metallic taste to it. And you got to watch out for canned meat too. I agree. Yep. In fact, that's tomorrow's, or next week, I'm going to do a canned pork dish. I got a bunch of canned pork in my survival center. And I'm going to probably pull a canned pork out. No, I'm not. All right, we got a full roaring boil going back here, and I'm going to use a half a box of this Routini. So I'm just going to kind of eye it on. But one way you can know if you're using a half a box is go diagonally this way. When it looks like you can see the bottom, you know you've got a half a box on a diagonal. Okay, little mathematical trick. Well, I'm telling you, the canned pork is good. It's good. I'm thinking of a rice dish with it. Yeah, it's really good stuff. All right, so I'm going to give that a little stir. Remember, we always stir our pasta as soon as it hits the water, otherwise it'll stick. That's going to be about 8 minutes of boil. I'm going to start chopping up my celery here. Now this has been rinsed off thoroughly, so it's not a big deal. And I'm not going to use the top, this stuff. This is, I don't know, some people use it, I don't know. It's kind of leafy for me, I'm not really into it, but if you really have to use the whole celery and you're serving a large group of people, I don't see it as a problem with it. But, uh-oh, somebody's looking at my feet. Did you see my feet there? No, okay. So I've been tracking Elon Musk, can you imagine? Elon Musk has, did you hear his recent tweet or his recent statement, his apology? I'll be playing that in our show. It's unbelievable. You can barely understand him. He's so high on, I guess he uses crack to stay awake, but man, he needs to cut back on the crack, you know? I'm a lefty. I'm gonna definitely throw a little garlic in that water. I like that garlic, so I'm just going to throw a little bit of that garlic that I cut up in there, just for flavor. All right, here we go. Now I normally use this olive oil. The nice thing about these dishes is these smoked oysters have their own sunflower oil in them. So I'm going to go ahead and pull some oil out of the can. And they have definitely a good taste, these oysters do. But watch what I do with the oil. See that? I'm basically draining each can. I'm going to put 2 cans of oysters in here. Okay, that's going on like a hot grill, so it's only at the level 3. It's not too hot. I'm going to do that with the other can too. Get all the oil out into the pan. That's sunflower oil, so you can totally use it. It's really good stuff. There's no GMO sunflower oil that I know of. Okay. Putting the onions in first on the hot pan. And the celery. Now this dinner does not require celery. You can just go with the onion. All right? Remember I did a little trick last time where I took my broccoli and made sure it was rinsed off. The broccoli has the lowest amount of Roundup residue of any vegetable across the board. So if you're buying broccoli, you're not getting as much Roundup as the other vegetables. I'm sorry I even have to say that. Okay, I'm going to, of course, get the Italian seasoning out, which is a major thing, part of the flex cooking process. And I buy this in bulk whenever I can, so. I'm going to sprinkle about a ½ teaspoon on there. Yeah, here's my Italian seasoning right here. I'm getting close to the end. I'm going to have to refill. Put that on the list. I would normally think dill would be good with this dish, but there's a unique taste in the oysters that makes it really kind of unique, unusual, I should say. Yeah, we got a compost heap here. We're going to use that. I'm going to cut the florets off of the top of this. Okay. Those are going to go in on top of the pasta, and since the pasta is half cooked, I'm going to put it in right now. And I'm going to cover it up. Okay? Then I'm going to take this piece right here and I'm going to shave off the sides because the sides are kind of leathery. And this is to make extra nutrition in your meal, in case you're wondering. This broccoli is optional, just like the artichoke is optional. You can go in any direction with this meal. Primary ingredients are oysters, pasta, and an onion. Smoked oysters, pasta, and onion, that's your primary ingredient, but you've got to have a vegetable in there of some kind. Yeah, I've never had splatter. Yeah, I'm pretty clean chef. I normally clean up after myself. Like, I have this compost heap I have here. But I usually do it after the cooking so it doesn't contaminate the meal with opening the compost, but I'll do it anyway. I just got to throw it in there. And then cover it right up. Tupperware works great for compost. You buy these things at the market that have like charcoal lids that's supposed to filter the smell. I mean, just don't bother. Don't bother. Yeah, forget it. It's not going to filter the smell. You got to seal that compost bin. So Tupperware is the best by far. Put the compost in the pasta water. That's a great idea. Okay, we have a boil over. Okay, that was bound to happen. I'm gonna adjust the top of this with just about a little bit of air so it doesn't boil over. Okay. Hey, Add the One, welcome. Welcome to David's Kitchen. Okay, this dish over here is I diced up the broccoli here. I'm gonna put it right in the middle of this dish. Then I'm gonna take my spatula and I'm going to turn that level up to 6. I'm going to get it really hot now. Kind of move it around, kind of adjust it, and then cover it right up. There's a little bit of water in the smoked salmon, so it's going to give flavor to the vegetables as they cook. Yeah, good for your liver. Yeah, I think vinegar. Some people do drinkable vinegar. They make. Hey, cut it out. I'm going to turn that down to 3. Okay, you can turn the pasta water down completely to low. Drop it to low. Otherwise you'll have a boil over. Okay, so we've got oysters and we've got pre-cooked artichoke. Yeah, it's looking good. Okay, today I have a smaller bowl today for dinner for 4. I love this stuff. Chimichurri, great for flavoring your vegetables as they cook. Great product. Really, I got this for 25 cents. See that? I bought it sitting there as like, how can chimichurri go bad? I thought. It can't. I mean, this could last 12 years, 15 years, 20 years. So buy it when you see it for 25 cents. Those oysters look very good. They're waiting for you. They have little bundles of sexual energy in each one. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to put a little chimichurri, about a tablespoon, on top of this dish. Lift it. That's strictly a flavor enhancer. Now you can use anything. You can use taco sauce. I mean, I really don't care. Just don't use too much of it. All right. I'm going to cut these artichokes. Like 1/4-inch chunks is fine. About the easiest thing in the world to cut. Okay, I'm going to throw that in with the cooking onions. Okay. Put it right on top of whatever you have in there. Now, there's a lot of things you could use instead of these, like Brussels sprouts, but they'd have to be pre-cooked. Lima beans. That'd be good. Lima beans, yeah. You could buy those at the dollar store. Lima beans would be a nice accoutrement to this dish, don't you think? Everything's working great, yeah. I love these glass top stoves. They're really nice. They're super easy to clean. Technically, you're not supposed to touch them while the burners are on, but I know which burner's on, so I'm not going to worry about it. Really? Wow, that's exciting. You're already getting all jazzed about it. Okay, I think we're almost at the point where we can actually infuse our meal together. Okay, the Routini is done. We are now going to the colander. I'm going to drain the pasta into the sink here. And I did the broccoli florets al dente. So al dente, a little water in there, run it down the sink. While it's still hot, I'm going to go ahead and put it in the dish on top of the onions. Isn't that nice? Went right in there. Now that's adding to the heating of the cooking and the infusion of the tastes. Everything's working together. Fusion 101, yeah, and then keep that cover on as much as possible. You notice how I'm very quick to put it back on? You want to preserve not only the heat, but the flavor. All right, we're having a problem between somebody and somebody in our show. All right. Yeah, we're about ready to kind of pull things together. We're going to add the oysters. You ready for this? Okay, here we go. Remember, these are all pre-cooked. You don't have to cook the oysters. They're already done. Just drop right in there. And then one. Just kind of give it a slam. Kind of slam it right in there. There's two. See that? Yeah, a little bit of, I'm going to put a little water in the container and kind of get all the oil out of it that I can. Preferably hot water, but I'll take whatever water. I'm going to throw that on top just to give it a little boost. There we go. Okay. Groovy. Yeah. Out of sight. Far out. Those are all words that we used to use in the 1960s and 70s. Back when I was, here I am. All right. Everything's off. We're still cooking at level 6. I'm going to go ahead and give this a major stir now with the stirring rod. Major stir. Beautiful. Nice. Okay, keep that level going at level 6 while you're infusing all your ingredients. It's all good. I am going to bring out my Parmesan cheese. I've been trying to use this Parmesan cheese, get rid of it. It's a great value. It's Parmesan cheese. So, yeah, let me see. By the way, it's an excellent way of salting food without adding too much salt. There's 75 milligrams in 2 tablespoons. Well, guess what? I have about 2 tablespoons, maybe 3. I can afford to add a little salt because remember, my salts are not that high. A little bit of a Himalayan sea salt is not going to overdo that was actually rinsed out. I'm going to go ahead and pour all of the rest of this container onto the dish. Okay. There you go. Grab a little off the bottom here. All right, we're letting that kind of come together, so I'm going to turn everything off now. Now that's as far as the dinner could go right there. That's as far as it could go. You could serve that right out of the pan. It's a pretty sizable amount of food. Seriously. I know. No, I don't ever do bad things. I'm not a violent person. Everything's very dedicated to nonviolence my whole life. Thank you. We're going to go in and start the show in a bit. I'm going to go ahead and transfer everything into this one bowl to show you that I've got at least 4 meals here. So here we go. You can watch it go in and watch it sit. Hang on, I got to pull back a little bit. Nope, still not there. There we go. Okay. Nice meal. The cheeses blend with the artichoke. You can use black olives in this dish. You can use all kinds of things. Now the onions ended up on the top, so what I'm going to do is kind of bring the bottom up to the top now. Put a little water in there so it doesn't set up. Always put water in your stainless steel dishes. So I'm just going to rotate everything up here. Now the key is to let this sit for a while with a cover over it. So all the dish fuses together. So that's it, everybody. For 4 meals, we did it for $4. Isn't that nice? And I'm telling you, the taste is outstanding. Enjoy it. Have some sexy oyster artichoke pasta, all right? Thanks for watching. I'll be starting the show in about 2 minutes, 1.5 minutes. See you there. And for those of you watching the recorded broadcast, thank you for watching David's Kitchen.